Hello students, hope you all are fine. I am Miss Nehali Topiwala, your SS teacher, going to start with your term 2 part with the first chapter, that is unit 11, landforms. Now in this chapter we are going to see about various types of landforms that are being created. Okay, so there are landform means what? They are recognized by various names like mountain, plateau, plains, etc. So we are going to learn about different types of mountain, plateau, plains in this chapter. So here we start with the chapter 11, landforms. Movements take place in the crust of earth over the time. Movements make and change the landforms. We find such type of experience through the incident like shock of earthquakes, volcano or tsunami, etc. Now there sometimes we find something happening, uncertain thing happening, and that is due to the earth crust. Okay, that movements, that changes which happens, that is known as landforms. Now we find such type of changes. When we find such type of changes, so like some incidents happens like earthquake, volcanoes or tsunami, at that time we find this type of changes in the landforms. This movement somewhere create mountains, plateau and fold valleys. Now due to these things, due to this uncertainty that happens, create such type of things like mountain, plateaus and valleys. In addition to this, erosion and deposition occurs due to the natural forces like, and due to this all things, natural things happens. Natural things, उनके erosion से, उनके deposition से जो कुछ भी होता है, that things form in the that things happen naturally, and it forms like river, glacier, wind, sea waves are which create alluvial plains, valleys and gorges. Okay, so due to this, all these things occurs naturally. Now when a particular part of land surface takes certain height, slope and shape is called a landform. Now ज़मीन से थोड़ी height के ऊपर, if it happens at a certain height, slope change हो जाता है, shape change हो जाता है, height बढ़ जाती है, तो this all things is known as landform. Now what are the main types of landform? The main type of landforms are recognized by various names like mountain, plateau, plain, etc. according to the height of the region. Now there are three types of landforms. Various names are given to it like mountains, plateaus, plains, and according to the height. See, you can see in the picture. देखो mountains ऐसे होते हैं. Then it comes into plateau are a bit smaller, and then it comes into the plain, means surface land, and see here you can find some island and then sea level. So these are the main types of landform. Mountain. So here we will see the first type of landform, that is mountain. Now what are mountains? The area having more than 900 meter height above the sea level with gentle or abrupt slope is called mountain. Now from your sea level, above the sea level height, the area having height of more than 900 meters से जो ऊंची height पे होता है, that things happen with gentle slope, थोड़ा हल्का सा या थोड़ा टेढ़ा मेढ़ा slope हो, that is known as mountains. Now mountains are formed in the crust of earth due to action, reaction and interaction of natural physical forces like earthquakes, volcanoes. Now how these mountains are formed? Mountains क्यों होती है? Certain या uncertain या interaction, action, reaction of the earth सरफेस, लैंडफॉर्म जो हमारा नेचुरल या फिज़िकल अकरेंस जो होता है नेचर से ऑन द लैंड, उसके वजह से जो भी चेंजेस होता है, वॉट एवर चेंजेस इज हैपनिंग, दैट इज़ ड्यू टू दिस थिंग एंड इट फॉर्म्स माउंटेन्स, एंड दिस चेंजेस आर लाइक अर्थक्वेक्स एंड वॉल्केनोज. Okay, impact of more than one action and forces are seen in the organization and development of the mountain. Now this doesn't happen only for वन मोमेंट से नहीं होता, बट इम्पैक्ट ऑफ मोर देन वन, मल्टीपल एक्शंस जब होते हैं, मैनी एक्शंस आर बीन टेकन, एंड इफ यू फाइंड मैनी एक्शंस एंड दैट चेंजेस इनटू द ओरिजिनेशन एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द माउंटेन, उसी से बनता है. दैट इज़ वाई इन द context of their various aspects, mountains are different from each other, and so that is the reason they are not same in height. If you will see mountains, many of the mountains you must have seen also, so you must have seen that their regular height is not the same. Some may be big, some may have small height, some may have more smaller than it. So this is because of this uncertainty only. Now, further, mountains have been classified into 4 divisions, and that is fold mountain, block mountain, volcanic mountain, and residual mountain. Now, fold mountain. Most of collective deposited sediments at the bottom of sea or lakes create folds due to the pressure which comes from both the sides. Its upper part turn as a peak and lower part turn as valley form can be seen. Now, how these fold mountains are been created? So, if you will see that the sediments at the bottom of the sea level, जो भी collect होता है वहाँ पे, और lakes creates fold बन जाता है. How you fold the paper, and if you will fold the paper many a times, you will see a different type of layers on it. So it also creates the same thing. So due to that pressure which comes from both the side, दोनों साइड से ऐसा प्रेशर आने की वजह से what happens, it turns into a small peak, छोटा सा ऐसे डोंगर टाइप हो जाता है, and that lower part turn as valley. फिर one side it is upper, second time it is lower, again first again fold like mountain, then plain valley, then again mountain, ऐसा. तो जो बीच का you can see here also brown part that is there, that is the folded part, and the green part it becomes like a valley. So this is the reason, this is how the fold mountains are being created. And where are these mountains found? So Himalaya in Asia, Alps in Europe, Rocky in North America, and Andes in South America are the main fold mountains of the world. You can see these mountains over there. Okay. Now second mountain is block mountain. Due to the geological forces, pulling force is applied on the surface of the earth, then cracks are formed. As a result, surrounding area is submerged and central part remains stable, forming block mountain. Then gorges are formed in the lower area. Now how these block mountains are being created? So due to geological forces, natural forces applied on the surface of the earth, and then the cracks are formed. Like I told you, earthquakes and all these things happens sometimes due to the natural occurrence of on the earth. So the cracks which occurs, see what happens after the cracks which are being done, part में divide हो जाता है, block बन जाता है, since a certain part it has been submerged and then remains stable, और फिर वो stable रह जाता है, like that only after everything. तो this the stable part, like see block जैसा दिख रहा है आपको, एक block, second block, third block. So this blocks are formed, and in this way block mountains are formed. So where this block mountain, example of block mountain are Horst mountain of Germany is the best example of it. Therefore such mountains are also called Horst mountain. Horst mountain भी उनको बोला जाता है, and Germany में it is the Germany is having such a block mountain over there, which is the best example. Then we find it in Nilgiri, Satpura, Vindhyachal mountain of India are the best example of block mountain. In these places we find block mountain in India. Next we'll move to volcanic mountain. See in the picture itself you can see about the volcanic mountain. It looks like a volcano only. At the time of volcanic eruption, जब volcano होता है, erupt होता है from the earth's crust, the material which is thrown out, जो बाहर निकलता है एकदम से फूट के, whatever things is thrown out from the earth crust is deposited in the shape of a cone. कोन बन जाता है. You have seen the cone shape. right? So this is called volcanic mountain. Whatever deposited comes from the earth crust पूरा फैलता है and it forms in the cone shape is known as volcanic mountain. Fujiyama of Japan, Vesuvius of Italy, Cotopaxi of Idudar and Barren of India, Pavagadh and Girnar are the example of volcanic mountains. So these places we find this volcanic mountain over there. Now next is fourth mountain is residual mountain. Now this type of mountains are formed from the residue which withstand against the natural force of erosion. It happens naturally. Whatever erosion is done with the earth, that occurs in this type of mountains. Soft rocks are eroded and swept away since thousands of years and the soil formed. Whatever soft rocks are there, एकदम सॉफ्ट रॉक्स जो होते हैं पत्थर, दे आर इरोडिकेटेड एंड स्वेप्ट अवे, मतलब हवा से वो चले जाते हैं एंड दे फॉर्म. That is not for 1 year or 2 years but thousands of years, and the soil formed from the solid rock sustained as a highland. So you can see this is the soil, और soil की वजह से थोड़ी थोड़ी space पे mountains have been created and it has been formed. So this such type of highlands are created and these are called residual mountains. So where we find this type of mountains, that is Aravalli, Nilgiri, Parshnath, Rajmahal and Eastern Ghat are the example of residual mountains. You can see over here very clearly the soil that is swept away of thousands of years ago form like this in this shape, and they form residual mountain. So here we have seen about 4 types of mountains. Now we will see about importance of mountains. Now why mountains are important? The mountains serve the purpose of a borderline and a wall of any country or a region and protect us from cold waves, Mountains are place of origin of rivers. So why these mountains are there? The mountains serve the purpose of borderline. It shows about the borderline of our country. Okay, it is a wall type thing that इसके बाद आपका country नया दूसरा country start होता है. तो it is a borderline, and mountains are the place of origin of rivers. Fertile plains are constructed by rivers flowing through them. You must have seen many a times mountains में से river गुजरती है. So they are helpful for rivers also. Rivers flowing from the heavy rainfall region, snow covered region, work as a water storage which is necessary for generation of hydroelectricity. And due to this flowing river, या फिर स्नो कवर्ड माउंटेन होता है हिमाचल में, तो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट ऑल्सो आफ्टर द स्नो गेट मेल्ट इट कन्वर्ट्स इनटू रिवर, एंड दिस वाटर स्टोरेज, whatever storage of water is there over there is used for generating hydroelectricity. Apart from this, they are the repository of forest resources, mineral resources are also found, and wildlife also. उनके लिए एक घर जैसा है mountain. Mountains are blessing for tourism industries, film industries and mountaineries. Mountains are blessing, मतलब tourist लोग they come to see the mountains. Okay, various types of mountains उनको अच्छा लगता है. Hill station where we say, film industries for the background of the movie or some for shooting some beautiful scenes we have seen many a times in the films also. And mountaineers mean those who are doing trekking part, they also like mountains very much. So they are the habitat for the 10th part of world's population, and Mexico and Bogota are the best example of it. Now see, there are in this box certain mountains are given, certain cities are given, countries are given, and the height of their mountains is also given over here, which you have to remember for short answers. Okay students, I hope you have understood about the importance of mountains also, and 4 types of mountains, that is fold mountain, block mountain, volcanic mountain and residual mountain. Now let's move ahead with plateau. Now what are plateaus? The plateaus are such that have approximate height of more than 180 meters above the sea level, means smaller than mountains. And wide and flat surface from the top is called plateau, and they are having wide and flat surface also. It is not like mountain, but they are having some flat surface. Now these plateaus are also classified into three parts, that is intermountain plateau, Piedmont plateau and continental plateau. Now what are these plateaus? We will see. And these plateaus are divided on the basis of geographical and location and structure. It is all natural. Okay. So first one, intermountain plateau. Any part of land which is fully or partially surrounded by the high mountains range from all four sides is known as intermountain plateau. See, you can see over here that part of land that is covered everywhere, it is covered with, all the four sides are been covered with high mountains from all the four sides. Okay, halfly or fully. Partially means halfly or fully it has been covered by high mountains, and this is known as intermountain plateau. Now plateau of Tibet and plateau of Mongolia are its example. Now next is Piedmont Plateau. Region having straight slope on the one side in the foot of mountain is called Piedmont Plateau. Now region having straight slope, so you can see over here, straight slope on one side. एक बाजू slope होता है and the other side you can see a mountain type thing. In the picture you will see. So such type of plateau is known as Piedmont Plateau. Patagonia, South America, Piedmont, USA, Malwa Plateau in India are the best examples. So in India we are having Malwa Plateau, and rest in foreign countries, South America and USA, you will find this kind of plateau. The next is continental plateau. An evaluated land part due to geographical movement or cooling down of magma on a big highland creates continental plateau. Now how this continental plateau is been created? Due to geographical movement. जो कुछ भी changes earth में, land में, earth crust में हुआ होगा, and due to that what happens, sometimes it needs to cool down. मैग्मा को, मतलब जो अगर if lava things has been happened or if earth crust has been happened, so it needs some time to cool down, to settle down, and while settling down and it forms on a big high land, what it forms continental plateau, as a plain plateau. You can see the lavic highland plateau of Maharashtra in India, plateau of Brazil, plateau of Uzbekistan, Spain, Greenland and Antarctica are the example of continental plateau. In these places you will find this type of plateau. Now what are the importance of plateau? Why they are formed? So the lavic soil of plateau is fertile. It is very fertile soil because it is used for agriculture. We can use this soil for agriculture, and it is favorable for cotton crop. To grow cotton, it is favorable soil. The precious mineral like iron, manganese and gold are found from the ancient solid rock of plateau. और इसमें से ये plateaus में से we find some ancient things also like gold, iron, manganese also we can find from there. For example, Chota Nagpur Plateau of India, slopes of this plateau are very important for cattle rearing. Now Chota Nagpur Plateau of India में जहाँ पे ये plateau है, वहाँ पे it is important for cattle rearing. Cattle rearing करते हैं वहाँ पे लोग tourism के लिए देखने लिए आते हैं, tours के लिए they come, and it is also useful in film industries for various backgrounds of the song or say movie. Okay, so I hope you have understood the three types of plateau, that is intermountain, Piedmont and continental plateau, and importance of it, where it is used and where it is for what it is favorable. Okay. Now we'll move ahead with plain. So level land or fertile flat land at the height of less than 180 meters above the sea level is known as plain, means earth surface. Okay, but the height if it is less than 180 meter from the sea level से जिनकी height 180 से कम हो. Most of the plain in the world are formed by the alluvial soil deposited by river. Means whatever river soil has been deposited over there, at that places this plains are famous. Apart from the rivers, some of the plains are also formed by rivers से तो plains बनते ही है, but apart from that it is formed by wind, volcano and glaciers. Glaciers means you know na snow covered body. Okay, so that is apart from this rivers, plains are also formed by wind, volcano and glaciers. Now there are also three types of plains classified. They have been classified in three types, that is coastal, structural plain, erosional plain and depositional plain. Now, what is coastal plain? So, such plains are mainly formed near the seashore. Coastal means from the name only we can find out that it has been there on the near the seashore. When the end of the continental part of land area, seashore is uplifted due to geographical movement, these plains are formed. When something happens naturally at the seashore, near the seashore, this type of plains are formed over there, and such plains are known as structural plains also. This type of plains are often formed in the coastal region. Wherever there is seashore, these plains are formed over there only. The plain situated in the southeastern part of United States of America spreads up to the Gulf of Mexico, and it is an example of coastal plain. Erosion which occurs in the bottom of land creates such plains. जब भी कुछ changes नीचे होता है land में, whatever changes happens over there below the sea level, then these plains are formed. Plains in the center of Australia is formed in the same manner. Whatever plains in the Australia is formed, it is due to this type of changes only when the erosion takes place at the bottom of the land. Now, what are erosional plains? The process of erosion goes on continuously on the surface of the earth over the long run of time. Such plains are formed due to the erosion which occurs in the mountains and plateaux because of natural factors like river, wind and glaciers. Now, this type of plains are formed due to the uncertainty that happens in the mountains and plateau because of river, rain and glaciers. And they found such type of things going continuously on the surface of the earth. जो कुछ भी होता है लंबे समय तक प्रोसेस, जो कुछ भी कैरीड होता है, तो that thing is known as erosional plains. And this type of plains are not completely flat. आपको ये plains flat एकदम चप्पट नहीं दिखेंगे, but they are seen between hills of solid rock. बीच बीच में हिल्स के बीच बीच में ये सारी प्लेन्स दिखेंगे, थोड़ी सी हिल देन प्लेन और थोड़ी सी हिल वापस से प्लेन. तो प्लेन्स ऑफ कनाडा एंड वेस्टर्न साइबेरिया फॉर्म बिकॉज ऑफ इरोशन. इरोशन मतलब तिराड़ जैसे गिरना, ओके, ज़मीन पर. नॉट प्लेन लैंड बट तिराड़ वाली सारी ज़मीन. प्लेन्स बिटवीन बिल्ड बाय इरोशन आर कॉल्ड एज पेनी प्लेन. जो भी इरोशन होता है, इरोशन मतलब कि जो दरारें गिरती है ज़मीन में, दे आर ऑल्सो कॉल्ड पेनी प्लेन. ओके, डिपोशनल प्लेन. दिस टाइप ऑफ प्लेन इज़ फॉर्म्ड बिकॉज ऑफ एलुविलियम डिपॉजिटेड बाय रिवर. जो कुछ भी एलुविलियम डिपॉजिट होता है, जमा होता है रिवर, ग्लेशियर या विंड से इन सी और लेक, सच प्लेन्स आर कॉल्ड डिपोशनल प्लेन. मतलब डिपॉजिट होना, वहाँ पे जमा हो गया है, और उनको रिवराइन प्लेन भी बोला जाता है. रिवर प्लेन्स ऑफ गंगा यमुना इन इंडिया, हुंग ओ प्लेन इन नॉर्थ चाइना, लंबोडी प्लेन formed by Po River in Italy are the unique examples of alluvial plain. When plains are formed with the deposition of alluvial in the lake, they are called lake filled also. जब ये सारी plains जो जमा हो जाती है रिवर के अंदर या लेक के अंदर या सी के अंदर, तो उनको लेक में अगर जमा हो जाता है सारा एलुविलियम, तो इट इज़ कॉल्ड लेक फिल्ड. कश्मीर वैली इज़ द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ लेक फिल्ड इन इंडिया. Now, what are the importance of plain? Places of human habitation and trade commerce are established in the fertile plain. मतलब ह्यूमन के लिए एज वेल एज फॉर बिजनेस दिस प्लेन्स आर इस्टेब्लिश. फ्लैट प्लेन्स हैव प्रूव्ड मोर यूजफुल फॉर रोड रूट्स एंड रेल. अगर फ्लैट ज़मीन हो तो वी कैन यूज इट फॉर रोड रूट्स एंड रेल रूट्स ऑल्सो. सिटीज़ हैविंग डेंस पॉपुलेशन आर सिचुएटेड इन द प्लेन्स. जहाँ पे बहुत कम पॉपुलेशन है वहाँ पे लोग रहते हैं. फर्टाइल लैंड इज़ मोर सुटेबल. अगर ज़मीन अच्छी हो तो इट इज़ यूज टू डू प्रोडक्शन ऑल्सो. फार्मिंग होती है वहाँ पे. फार्म प्रोड्यूस सप्लाई रॉ मटेरियल फॉर द इंडस्ट्रीज. जो कुछ भी हम फार्म से प्रोड्यूस करते हैं वो रॉ मटेरियल फैक्ट्रीज़ में जाता है and they are supplying raw material to the factories and then it converts into the finished good which reaches to us. So I hope you have understood about the planes. There are 3 types of planes and they are importance also. Now we'll see some important things about the about what we are learning. Now bay. तो यूजुअली अ पार्ट ऑफ एन ओशंस वाटर इज़ कॉल्ड बे. जो भी पानी का हिस्सा है ओशन में दैट इज़ कॉल्ड बे. दे टेक शेप लाइक ह्यूज एंड वाइट लेक सराउंडेड बाय द लैंड. बड़े बड़े ह्यूज लेक बन जाते हैं विच इज़ सराउंडेड बाय लैंड. एंड बेज कैन बी लार्ज एंड स्मॉल इन साइज. Bay of Bengal, you can see Bay of Bengal in India is the best example of it. Okay, you must have seen in the picture. Now what is Gulf? तो when watery area is surrounded by the land from 3 sides. जब भी कोई ज़मीन से 3 sides पानी घेरा हुआ है is called Gulf. That is Gulf of Khambat and Gulf of Kutch are best example of it. Now what is Cape? Cape is a perpendicular end of land that extends into water body. Perpendicular means T-shape like thing. Okay, it also it also can be known as sea line, border line, sea line. So last line, for example, Kanyakumari in India and Cape of Good Hope in Africa is the last line, last bordered line of India. Now what is island? Tapu. A piece of land that is surrounded by water from all 4 sides is known as island. बीचों बीच like Andaman Nicobar Island. नदी के बीचों बीच island होता है, small piece of land and around it all 4 sides is covered with water. For example, Lakshadweep Island, Andaman and Nicobar Island, Shankodwar, Pirambet, Shialbet, etc. These are all islands. Now what is valley? Low lying area region among the mountains range. खाई जो बोलते हैं हम, खाई में गिरना. तो at that time of formation of fold mountains, block mountains we have seen up. Okay, erosion takes place and due to तिराड़े गिरने लगती है and due to that flowing of rivers और glaciers बीच में से आते हैं and thus they create valleys. और उनके वजह से क्या बन जाती है? खाई बन जाती है. For example, Kashmir Valley. Now what is strait? A narrow piece of sea that joins 2 larger water areas is called strait. A narrow piece of sea, एकदम पतला सा sea का पार्ट जो ज्वाइन करता है 2 लार्ज वाटर एरियाज़ को, 2 लार्ज वाटर बॉडीज़ को ज्वाइन करता है, दैट इज़ नोन एज स्ट्रेट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल पार्क स्ट्रेट बिटवीन इंडिया एंड श्रीलंका. Isthmus. What is isthmus? A narrow piece of land which separates 2 water areas is called isthmus. मतलब कि एक छोटी सी ज़मीन का टुकड़ा, narrow piece of land that separates, अलग करता है 2 water areas को, अलग बना देता है, that is known as isthmus. For example, Panama between, isthmus of Panama, that is between North and South America. Peninsular. A piece of land which is surrounded by sea from 3 sides. तीन साइड से कनेक्ट होता है एंड तीन साइड से सी से भरा होता है एंड कनेक्ट विथ लैंड ऑन 1 साइड. एक साइड लैंड होता है एंड ऑल द 3 साइड्स इज कवर्ड विथ वाटर. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज पेनिसुलर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल साउथ इंडिया में है एंड सौराष्ट्र में है. सो आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड अबाउट ऑल दिस सर्टन थिंग्स. We have learned in this chapter about mountains, plateaus and plains. Classification is also done between mountains. There are 4 classification in mountain and 3 in plateau and 3 in plains, and we have seen certain things also, like Gulf, Cape, Bay, Island, Valley, Strait, Isthmus, Peninsular, etc. Okay, so I hope you have understood this chapter very well. So thank you, students. Stay home, stay safe. Bye. Take care.